Things are getting better. Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. Have you noticed lately things that are happening around us? Like, let's take the USA. There were the horrendous fires in California in January that destroyed numerous properties and claimed the lives of nearly 30 persons. The presidential inauguration was moved indoors. Why? Because of very cold weather, the first time in 40 years. And since then, there has been a spate of back-to-back horrible winter conditions that have been sweeping across the country. And there are other horrible stories in various countries that it sometimes pay for you to shut off the news. Sounds bad, doesn't it? Oh, and some persons might want to talk about the increase in divorce, murder, suicide, and stop. I get it, man. But God is not sleeping. In fact, I want you to hear something that God recorded in the good book nearly 2,000 years ago. But mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with such people. 2 Timothy 3 verses 1 to 5. Heard anything that is familiar? And I tell you, that's not a summary of your local nightly news. It is straight from the Bible, and we're getting to live through it right before our very eyes. So what should we do? What can we do? I am so glad we're having this conversation between us, because there has never been a more exciting time on planet Earth. Hold it, don't stone me yet. God knew all of this was going to happen, so he is not caught by surprise. In the middle of all these negative reports, some great things are happening here on planet Earth. Churches have been reporting an upswing in attendance on Sundays, and many of the new folks are young people. In fact, in Europe, many traditional churches are losing members rapidly. Old church buildings are being sold for all kinds of purposes. But guess what? There is a growing number of European youths who are meeting in non-traditional locations, and with their contemporary style of worship and preachers dressed in jeans and untucked shirts, they are plugging into God. In fact, it is reported that there has been an increase of millennials attending church by 18% between 2019 and 2022. Among the Gen X generations, you know that sort, more and more of them are going to church and finding Jesus. Oh, and hear this. One international Christian organization reports that there has been a 22% increase in youths turning to the Christian faith in recent times. And that is just one fraction of the exciting things that are happening. In places like Africa, Asia, and South America, there are numerous reports of massive evangelistic events, and thousands of people are becoming Christians. You might argue that that may be the big picture, but your story is not so pretty, that you are not really having a good life. Well, pull up your chair and let us talk. Have you noticed how many young people around you are earning tons of money through non-traditional means? 20 years ago, you'd never hear of the term monetizing outside of first-year economic classes in college. Today, so many young persons are becoming rich overnight, and not from stealing or gambling. Our young people are finding creative ways to make money legitimately. But that's not all. I know you have not heard anything yet to lift your spirit, but I'm just getting started. In our local church this year, we are focusing heavily on faith. Yes, faith. Jesus' faith. Jesus replied, "Truly I tell you, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only can you do what was done to the fig tree, but also you can say to this mountain, go throw yourself into the sea, and it will be done." Listen to this. "If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer." Matthew 21, verses 21 to 22. our hearts are turning to this wonderful, amazing experience called faith. The faith that promises to bring you into a life of wonderful surprises and tremendous joy. Serving God is beginning to get even more exciting as we are learning that God has given us this very amazing challenge. You can have great things happening in your life, healing, miracles, answers to prayers, overdue joy, if we have faith, the kind of faith that gets rid of the baggage of doubts. Doubt is a downer, man. Kick it out of your life. Faith is the key. We are being called to practice radical faith in God. Listen, take this from me. God is super excited and waiting to demonstrate that there is 100% truth in that statement. A friend of mine recently shared with me a piece of her own story, how she took on the challenge and she adopted the faith regime, and God has blessed her with some quick answers to some big audacious prayers. And that is just one of many stories I could tell you, but it is as if God has opened up a new highway to blessings, to the supernatural life, to answered prayers, and it is super exciting. That highway is gaining more and more traction, and you are invited to come on over and begin to do the faith thing, to put your trust in Jesus. Now, mind you, don't think that God is a vending machine that you stick in your faith quarter and a blessing pops out below. You have to have the good old-fashioned faith, the one your grandmother lived by. You know you are a child of God, right? Well, I am leaving this conversation shortly, but only after I share with you a 100% authentic, genuine meaning of faith, one I found in the Bible, and I strongly recommend it to you. Now, faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Hebrews 11 and verse 1.